Hello everyone, and welcome to another play and chat. It's been quite some time since I did the last one, and I thought, why not do another? I've bought a new capture card, one of the Howpage, I don't know how you say it, one of their HD PVR devices, and so I thought I'd give it a bit of a test and do a video and see what it looked like. This is Gotham City Imposters that I'm playing, and you can get this on Xbox Live. It's a brilliant online first-person shooter. It's absolutely crazy. Essentially, you've got people pretending to be Batman and people pretending to be the Joker. Basically, flying around, jumping around, grappling, hooking around Gotham City, pretending to be the supervillain slash superhero. In various game modes, you've got stuff like Team Deathmatch, you've got Fumigation, which is essentially like Conquest mode. You've got your Capture the Flag modes and all of the usual kind of stuff you come to expect from an online first-person shooter. And it only costs about £10. It's 1,200 Microsoft points, and it's just insane fun. Sometimes online first-person shooters can really annoy you, you know, but this isn't. I mean, it's just mayhem. You're gonna die, you're gonna kill lots, and that's just how it is. There's no rhyme or reason to a lot of the things in it. It's just zany, and it's an incredible amount of fun. It's very old school in the way that it plays. You know, just for the most part, you just stick tactics out of the window. I mean, I'm sure if you played it tactically, you could probably rank up quicker, but I think you'd lose a lot of the fun as well, because so much fun is just flying from one side of the map to the other. You know, you've got like, you can get things with like got springs in the heels. You can fly around. There's nothing funnier than seeing a fat Batman flying past you. It's just crazy. It is. It's just a hell of a lot of fun, and it's well worth checking out. So yeah, definitely do that. So yeah, that's Gotham City Imposters then. The other thing I wanted to chat about in this video is, in doing these better quality videos, hopefully, I want to spend a little bit more time making each video. There's no point investing in better quality capture software and hardware if at the end of the day I'm just going to be making videos that are, you know, still of the same type or same production quality in terms of content and so on and so forth. Now, that doesn't mean to say I'm suddenly going to start producing Hollywood blockbuster gaming videos, because I don't have the editing software to be able to do that, and I really don't have the inclination to either. That doesn't particularly interest me. I like how I do my videos now. In some ways they're a bit, you know, they're on the fly, they're not scripted, they're on the fly, and, you know, I like that. I like doing my videos this way, but I also want to do more videos like this, more sort of online gaming videos, and I want to cover more modern games as well. I mean, I've always said that my channel was never just for retro games, it was for all video games, but of late the retro ones have taken over a bit, and in principle it's because I've got such a huge quantity of retro games that I've bought, that I've wanted to put the videos up for them, because I enjoy playing them, and I enjoy watching other people making retro game videos too, because it's nice to be able to see, you know, what the games were like that you used to play. You sometimes forget about stuff like that, so I'm still going to carry on doing them, don't get me wrong. It's just that I want to make videos of more modern games as well and add them to the collection. So they're the ones that tend to take a bit longer to produce. The retro games are quite easy and quite, you know, you can turn them around quite quickly, hence why I've been able to do one a day now for the past few months. But the more modern videos are going to take a little bit longer to put together, and consequently I'm probably going to, in some weeks I'm probably not going to be doing a video a day. It might only be 2-3 videos a week. That's not to say that I'm not carrying on. I mean, there will be some weeks where I do have a video a day. It just depends on what footage I've got available. But there are going to be other weeks where that's not going to be possible. It's just not going to be the case, because I have other things that I do. I co-host a podcast which comes out on a Saturday, and I record that usually on a Thursday evening or on a Friday morning, depending on when the other guys in the podcast are available. And that's the Mature Gamer podcast, and that we have our own website as well, which is maturegamer.com. maturegamerpodcast.com. You've probably seen the sort of link that I put at the end of my videos, on the little card at the end of the videos that I have. And it's well worth checking out, because it's a good little website. It's a nice little community we've got there. So yeah, as I say, it is well worth checking out. And that's the thing, you see, it's a push on time. One of the things that I've noticed is that I've got this pile of games that's just ever growing, and it's games that I've not played or I've not had a chance to play. And it is due to time constraints. When you make a video, and people who make gaming videos will know this, if you do it in the method that I've been doing it, which is capturing the footage and then doing a voiceover and stuff like that, how I like to do the video is I like to play through it for quite some time. I like to put over as many different parts or elements to the game as possible, rather than just sort of start at the first level and record 10 minutes of footage or something like that. I like to show various bits of the game to try to get, to give a bit of an overall look and feel to what the game is like. It's kind of a hybrid video. They're not playthrough videos. I don't like to say they're reviews either, because that's not necessarily the case. They're just sort of, impressions, as it were. This is my impression of the game. Here's a few levels from it. And just to try to put the game out there so people can see what the game actually looks like and what it plays like. Because I like those type of videos. I've gone away and bought a number of games that I probably would never have even bothered with, because I've seen videos of them up on YouTube, and to me it's the best way of finding out what a game is really like. I think quite often you can get far too involved in the sorts of, dare I say, professional reviewers who, for the most part, they do a fair job, but there's also, they do tend to ignore quite a lot of games as well. If the game's not flavour of the month, they certainly will do a damn fine job of ignoring it or writing it down. I mean, there are a number of games that have got really bad scores on many of the big reviewing websites that I've gone on and actually played, and they've been awesome. And it has made me wonder why this happens. So I always like to go to the gaming community on YouTube, because I think you get a far more balanced view and a far more realistic view of the merits of a game. And so that's purely my intention. I mean, if a game is really bad and I don't like it when I'm playing it, I will say so, but I'm not going into an in-depth review. I'm not covering to the same extent that you would expect, you know, from a guy who does it for a living. This is, you know, my viewpoint has always been, I'm a video gamer, I've done it for a few years. I'd like to think I've got some knowledge of the gaming industry, maybe not a whole lot, but, you know, just essentially through experience, I would like to think that I've got a little bit of knowledge going on. And here's my thoughts on it, and, you know, here's my thoughts on a particular game. You can take those thoughts on board, or you can ignore them. That's fine. But, you know, here's the game footage as well, and, you know, you can have a look what the game actually looks and plays like. That's kind of where I've come from, and that's not going to change. That's always going to remain the same. So, yeah, you know, like I say, sometimes you just have to take a step back and say, okay, I've done all these videos now, I've been doing them on a daily basis for, you know, aside from the weekends now, for a few months. I just want to try and do something a little bit different. You see, the other issue as well is that eventually I'm going to run out of games. I currently have an absolute stack load of retro games and new games to get footage of and to, you know, to talk about and stuff. But, you know, eventually that's going to run out. You know, buying retro games can be relatively cheap in isolation. And, you know, by that I mean, you know, if you buy 1 or 2 retro games, you know, you could probably pay, you know, a couple of pounds, £5, you know, very much depending on the game that you're after. But when you start buying a lot of them, they soon add up, and it becomes quite an expensive undertaking, especially when you need to buy systems. I mean, I was quite lucky with the Mega Drive. I've been able to use a clone system that I already had to play a lot of the Mega Drive games, but it's not ideal. I mean, you know, you do have a degree of sound corruption, and it's not presenting those games in the best way. But that really doesn't matter too much, because I'm not actually hooking up to the world's best capture device when I make those videos. I use a capture device on my Mac, which is, you know, pretty standard basic. It does everything in standard definition, and it's more than adequate to do those type of games with. And I'll carry on using that for those type of games. It's pointless, you know, messing about with, you know, this HD PVR to do Mega Drive games with, because it won't make any difference as far as I'm concerned. It might, but it's not going to make a significant difference. And, you know, as I say, I would much rather try and get the damn thing out the door in an easier method than the more convoluted method of doing it with a HD PVR. And believe me, it is a time-consuming process. With the Elgato video capture device, which I use on the Mac, to do the Mega Drive and PlayStation 1 games and so on and so forth, I essentially record the footage, and then I just take that footage straight into iMovie and edit it. When I use the HD PVR, I need to capture the footage, then I need to convert the footage into media that iMovie likes. And believe me, that takes some time, because it's, you know, it's high definition. That can take, you know, depending on how big the video file size is. I mean, when I did this video, I probably had about 25 minutes worth of footage, and that took about 1 hour and 15 minutes to convert. And then I have to bring it into iMovie, and I have to import it then into iMovie, and you know, compress the file size, because the file size can be quite enormous. I mean, I think this was about 1.5 gig, and I made the mistake of trying to upload this to YouTube. I didn't compress it, I just imported it in its original size without any compression at all. And the problem then soon became that the file size uploading to YouTube, I left it all night, and the file size was about 1.6 gig. and it never moved beyond 6%, and that was after about 7 or 8 hours. And so I mean, that's just a non-starter, that, for me. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And I don't know whether it was a problem with YouTube, whether it was a problem with my internet connection or whatever, but you know, that was just ridiculous. So I actually had to remake this video and, you know, compress it into iMovie, and then I have to export it then into the format that it's going to appear on YouTube. And of course I'm going to have to export it in high definition for it to take advantage of the PVR's HD capturing capabilities. So that's going to take some time. Then you have to upload it to YouTube. So there's quite a few hours there, and yeah, you can go away and you can do other things, but you know, it's still something that you have to do, and it's still something that takes time. Obviously I don't have to sit at the computer while I'm doing it, but that's not the point. It still takes time, and it's still something that I've got to keep going back to make sure that everything's okay. So it is very much like a work in progress all the time until it's completed. And you know, that's sort of where I'm coming from in terms of when I'm going to make videos like this. In that week, you're probably just going to see maybe 2, 3. I'm more likely to say 2 videos, because there's going to be, you know, it's going to take quite some time to put these more modern videos together. As I say, I'm still going to do my retro videos, and when I have a little bit of a push on them, you'll probably see probably 5 of them a week, because they take far less time to put together, and I don't have to go through compression and conversion as much. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for that. I mean, it's like I say, I'm not stopping making videos. You just have to be a bit sensible. You have to, you know, you have to put things into a position in your life whereby you're not committing to something that you know very well you're not going to stand a chance of being able to fulfill, and that's not something I'm going to do. There's nothing more annoying than people who go to commit to something and then never sort of live up to it. And at the end of the day, you know, YouTube is what it is. I've never ever committed to saying I'm going to do 5 videos a week. It's just something that over time that's, you know, that's happened. So there you go. I think to round off, how long I've been going for now, I think this is going to probably come out at about 20-21 minutes, I would say. Yeah, I mean, I do love making these videos. I do love making videos on YouTube and stuff like that. And a few years ago I would have scoffed at the idea that I would have made videos and what have you. But I've really got into it, and I really do enjoy doing it. So, you know, and I've also gained quite a few subscribers as well this year and towards the back end of last year, which I'm really happy about. I didn't go into this to get subscribers. I think that if people who do that don't make these kind of videos, you know, I promote what I do on Twitter to my Twitter followers, and on Facebook to the people that follow me on Facebook, and that's about it. You know, I don't go all over the place saying, oh, look at my channel and all this, that and the other. I know I'm not interested in trying to make money out of it either, or anything like that. If it happens, it happens, but it's not a goal of mine. But to see my subscribers increasing quite a lot in the last 6 months, it's nice, because it's not that I'm after validation or anything. It just means that, you know, there are people out there that enjoy what I do, and I think to me that's a far bigger buzz than getting paid to do something. I think it's just an incredible thing that I produce something, and if even one person watches it and enjoys it, that's a big deal. It just means that you're not sort of shouting in an empty room type of thing. You know, if I had no subscribers and nobody was watching these videos, then, you know, I'd be thinking, well, I'm doing something wrong, and ultimately you think, well, there's no point doing it. You know, people that say, I'm not bothered if nobody watches my videos, that's not true. What's the point? If you're going to produce something to put it out there, then you want people to watch it and enjoy it. And, you know, the fact that I have the subscribers that I have, I'm not saying all of them watch my video, but, you know, I probably get on average about 50 views on my video, and I get probably about half a dozen positive feedbacks on it, then that's a really cool thing for me, and that means an awful lot. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this playing chat. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned to my channel for more videos to come.